and welcome to this Come to Jesus Daily devotional and our summer inspiration series. And today we reflect on how our understanding and our enjoyment of God's love and grace frees us to be loving and gracious to others. Let's read again from Colossians 3. This time we're just going to look at verse 12. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Therefore, as. The biblical pattern is that understanding leads to behaviour. We don't act out of our feelings. Rather, we act out of faith in the truth, and feelings normally catch up. Our behaviour and relationships are to flow out of the sort of truths mentioned in this section. So therefore, as. Let's be people who study God's word so as to apply it, to be able to say therefore. Secondly, we're told we're God's chosen people. We're told that our attitude to our relationships flows out of the truth that we've been chosen by God. Amazing, isn't it? Chosen by God. I'm sure that we can all see that if we live in the joy of grace that we've been chosen, if we know that we deserved God's wrath, but he chose us and saved us by grace, then this will revolutionise how we think of ourselves and also how we treat others. Every one of our brothers and sisters, whatever background, were chosen because of God's love. If we fail to understand this, we can easily become like the judgmental and surly older brother in the parable of the prodigal son. Paul writes elsewhere in Ephesians 1, verses 4 to 5, He chose us in him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in his sight. In love he predestined us for adoption to sonship through Jesus Christ, in accordance with his pleasure and will, to the praise of his glorious grace, which he has freely given us in the one he loves. So we're to be able to say firstly, therefore as, we're to understand things that will then impact positively on our relationships. And the first thing that we're to understand, secondly, is that we are God's chosen people, and we're to allow the joy of that to overflow into how we treat others. And thirdly, we're told that we are holy and dearly loved. Holy is to be chosen and set apart by God for his purposes. Holy and dearly loved tells every Christian that their sins have been washed away and are God's chosen and special possession. So in response, it's on the basis of our new identity that we are to put on the new self. The bride on her wedding day gets dressed because she knows that she's dearly loved and chosen. And so we will only dress ourselves in the beauty of Christ if we know that we're chosen and dearly loved. Yesterday we saw how we are to put to death certain things that pollute our relationships, that regarding sex and use of language. And today is positive. We're told to put on things, to clothe ourselves. We don't just put off things, we put on things. We'll continue with this in more detail tomorrow. However, today I simply want us to rest in the transformative truth that we are God's chosen people, holy, dearly loved. Our joy in relationships are transformed by putting our roots into this kind of truth. Like the healthy apple tree that's planted in rich and well-watered soil, bearing wonderful, sweet and beautiful fruits. So let's ensure that we remain saturated and rooted in the doctrines of grace. God bless you.